Mr. Chairman, thank you for scheduling H.R. 4681, the Illicit Captagon Trafficking Suppression Act, for today's debate and markup. I want to particularly thank Congressman Moskowitz, who is my partner in offering this legislation after 2 years of working very closely with your team, including in the last Congress when I was not a member of this committee. So I want to thank you and the Foreign Affairs Committee staff for the hard work and appreciate helping me address this issue effectively. In addition to being a documented war criminal, Bashar al-Assad in Syria has become a transnational drug kingpin, whose Captagon drug is devastating families in the region and fueling his terror partnership with Iran and Hezbollah, and now with additional of millions, if not billions, of new, growing illegal sources of funds. In June, the Biden administration outlined their strategy to combat the illegal revenue of Captagon, mandated by my first bill, the Captagon Act, which was signed into law as a part of the fiscal 23 NDAA. The Illicit Captagon Trafficking Suppression Act will further press the Assad regime by imposing new sanctions to directly target individuals and networks associated with the production and trafficking of this drug. To ensure stability in the region, the United States government must continue to work with our allies and partners and put pressure on stopping the proliferation of this drug and the money it generates. I've been to the region, Mr. Chairman, 3 times this year, and Captagon has come up in every visit with regional governments. Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Iraq directly have seen Captagon trade infiltrate their borders and affect their populations. And Egypt, Israel, and Turkey are certainly concerned about the money generated by Captagon, which fuels terrorism on their borders and against their people. The Israeli Defense Force, just in the last few weeks, announced that Captagon pills have been found on killed and captured Hamas fighters in the days following the October 7th brutal massacre in southern Israel. The New Line Institute's Captagon Trade Project has now tracked more than 800 seizures of Captagon since 2015. Further, earlier this year, the British government estimated the global value of the Captagon trade at $57 billion. With more than 80% of Captagon being produced in Syria, that's big money for an economy on the brink of utter collapse. While I commend the Biden administration and the United Kingdom jointly for using Caesar sanctions this past spring to sanction individuals for Captagon trade, it's important that we now have specific sanctions on the production and trafficking of this drug. This bill is an important piece to the other legislation that this committee has passed and related to the region's work at pushing back against the normalization of diplomatic relations with Assad, the presence of Iran has in every conflict in the region, and in supporting our ally Israel. I ask for my colleagues' support, and I yield back the balance of my time.